On today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to replace the rubber boot on an ignition coil and a contact spring fix. I'm sure at one point or another, all of you guys have had a problem with the contact spring coming off the ignition coil. Well, some people don't know that you can actually put this back into place and you don't have to replace the whole ignition coil assembly. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how I take it apart and I fix it. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to reassemble the contact spring on the ignition coil, get it through the boot, and put it back together. So if you guys want to see my 30-second fix on how to fix the ignition coil spring, watch the video. Here we go.
Here's the rubber boot that came off, and here's the contact spring that fell off. We're going to put this back together on the ignition coil. First thing we got to do is disconnect all these parts so we can get down to the ignition coil. On this particular unit, it's buried in there a little bit, so you got to take the air filter cover off. You got to take the shroud over top off, which requires taking a whole bunch of screws out from the bottom side, and then you can finally access the ignition coil. There's 3 screws by the clutch drum, there's a screw over by the fuel tank, and then there's a second screw over by the muffler, and then of course the 2 screws in front of the throttle trigger. With all the screws out, now we can take off the shroud to access the ignition coil. This unit has a ton of grass and crap in there, so let's take it outside and blow it off. Start by sliding your boot over top of the lead wire. Once the wire makes contact with the top of the boot, grab your needle nose pliers and pull the wire through. I'm going to add a little oil here first to make that wire slide through the hole easier. This is a tight fit. Go ahead and take your needle nose pliers, push them all the way in, and once you get to the bottom, open them up and grab onto the wire. Hold the boot back, hold onto your wire, locate the small hole where the contact spring barb goes, and push it in the hole, and you'll have to end up crimping it with your needle nose pliers. Now install your contact spring on your spark plug and then work the boot over top of it. This is the only way to get the contact spring seated without pulling it out of the wire. If you try to pull the wire with the contact spring into the boot, it's going to pop right back off. This technique stabilizes the spring as it's getting pulled back into the boot. And it works every time, just like a charm. Now it's time to install the shroud and the air filter cover, and we'll get this trimmer working again.
As you can see, pretty simple repair, 30 seconds if you do it right. Not much to it. The biggest thing is understanding how to get this back into place. So I use a lightweight oil to lubricate the tube. So once you get that through the boot, then you can pull it through with needle nose pliers. Once it's out, look for the hole that was already in there from the contact spring. Use the barb on the contact spring to go back through the hole. And then the biggest part of this is make sure you put the contact spring on the spark plug. And once it's on the spark plug, then bring the boot over top of the spark plug, and then you can twist it off and remove it. But if you try to shove it back in there, that contact spring is gonna come off the line and it's not gonna go back into the boot, and you're gonna have to start the whole process all over again. So if you guys found this video helpful, make sure you guys like it down below and subscribe to my channel. Check out my other great videos on there. I've got content of repairs that come through the shop on a daily basis, tools, tips, and tricks that I use in the shop to get a customer's equipment fixed and right back out the door. Also, make sure you guys check out the description of my videos. The description is going to have my Amazon affiliate links in there for tools that I use in the videos, as well as pertinent accessories that I use to fix the equipment here in the shop. So make sure you guys check that out. It's a great way to support my channel if you want to do so. So thanks for watching the video, and I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day.